Hello, here's what you missed for Wednesday, January 9th, 2013. Our I can statements were as follows. I can gather, organize, and synthesize career information in the MLA format that's assigned. That's in regards to the annotated bibliography number 3, the interview, as well as annotated bibliography number 2 for students who have not submitted that assignment. Our second I can statement was I can use a secondary resource tool such as dictionary.com in order to gather information in regards to grade level appropriate vocabulary, such as the SAT and ACT vocabulary list. Our current list is list number 8. You can go on another podcast on YouTube in order to get the definitions and parts of speech of those words. The materials needed for class are as follows. Personal interview notes, as well as the Annotated Bibliography number 3 worksheet. Please check the following items. We're asking you to go to the course Moodle page in order to view the weekly syllabus. It's telling you about upcoming quizzes and tests, also the current writing assignment and the current literature assignment. Please check PowerSchool for your current grade in the class. There are some students who are still missing items, and it's important that you see what the comments are and which items you are missing. Also, please refer to Moodle for the following worksheets. SAT and ACT vocab list number 8. This was given to you on 1/8/13. If you have lost your copy and need another copy or weren't here on the day this was distributed, please go to the course Moodle page for a copy. Annotated Bibliography number 2, the Bureau of Labor Statistics worksheet. You can go to Moodle to obtain a copy of that. This should have been submitted prior to holiday break, but if you still need a worksheet in order to complete your final draft, this is where this particular document is located. Our current assignment, which is due on Thursday, Annotated Bibliography number 3, the interview worksheet. It is expected by now that you have completed an interview. You are given 3 months in which to do this. The worksheet is what you are filling out in response to your either job shadow experience, your phone experience, or your email experience with your Ask the Expert source. The worksheet's worth 10 points. Remember, your final draft is always worth 25 points. What is due by the end of class on Wednesday? Late work. There are many students who did not submit their annotated bibliography number 2. This is the copy, the typed copy for this, and you need to submit that immediately. That's currently in the grade book, and you currently have a 0 missing late if that has not been submitted. All students, this is the current assignment, your annotated bibliography number 3. That's the interview. You need to submit both the worksheet, which houses the information as your pre-write in your drafting, and then you'll need to also submit your final draft on Thursday. This is a current copy of our Annotated Bibliography Worksheet number 3, the interview. Remember, once you've conducted the interview, it was important that you sat down and gathered and synthesized your notes in order to see what information your Ask the Expert source gave you in response to the research project. Remember, there's 4 components to this project: history and evolution, issues such as political, social, and cultural pertaining to your career choice, future projection, and service learning. There are 3 parts to every annotated bibliography assignment, which are the MLA citation, the annotation, and the note-taking section. To create your citation for your personal interview, you simply follow the guidelines as you see. OWL at Purdue gives you a full source citation for all information, so we always ask you to either go to the MLA.org link or the OWL at Purdue link for assistance. But here's a quick sample of your citation for an interview. It's the person you interviewed, last name, comma, first, the words personal interview, and the date the interview was conducted. Next, you have section 2. And remember, you have to really be thinking about how to synthesize all the information that you were given when you had your either job shadow experience, your email interview, or your phone interview. So there are various components. You need to tell us what happened after you've given us the source. This is an interview, so you just recopy the word interview here. Your summary is going to tell us about your job shadow experience, whether it's an email experience, a phone experience, how long this was, what it entailed, and what information it provided. Be specific. When we give you a fair amount of lines in which to complete the information, we do expect that you fill in as many lines. Be detailed. We weren't there at the job shadow experience. We weren't there and privy to your phone or email experiences, so you have to really explain to your audience what happened. Expert's credentials. Again, why did you choose this person? How are they an expert in a specific field? Have they published any books on the topic before? How do you know this information's update? And again, how is this person, and how do you know this person's an authority in this field? Okay, why should you, and why do you believe your source? Again, use several lines in which to answer. We want format to really be powerful, so format does matter, and you do have to really explain incomplete sentences. After you've conducted your phone, email, or job shadow experience, what type of information from your Ask the Expert source will you include in the paper? And again, you have several components of this project, and we mentioned that above in that chart at the very top of this page. So what information did they give you? And be specific, because later when you present this, you want to have as much information reminding yourself so you can give the details to your audience what you're getting from this experience. So if it's future projection, what aspect of the future projection paradigm did they give you? What issues specifically, political, social, cultural, did they explain to you? If they gave you information on the history and evolution, if they gave you sources such as a web source or a credible secondary source, or they gave you another link to another person, specifically say that. Again, use, and your goal is to use as many of these lines and fill in as many of these lines as possible, so it makes your final draft that much better. Evaluating for bias. How do you know that you can trust the information from the source? And this is your interviewee. So again, how do you know they're not just giving you one aspect or an opinion versus a fact? Because remember, we are wanting to be fact-based. This is a research paper, so it has to be facts versus someone's opinion. Okay, can these details that the person give you be supported from other sources? So again, you're answering all these questions, filling in all the lines that you can in order to have a very strong answer. For this part, note-taking section, you will not need to include page numbers, so you can cross that part off. The only reason why you would need a page number is if your source gave you some type of secondary source, a periodical, a website to go to, and you use that information from that website and you wanted to cite some notes from there. But otherwise, if it's information given directly from the interview, then you won't need to use the page numbers. But you should have at least 7 strong facts. Remember, the cap off is 15 of really great details and information that the person gave you. It could be a link to a website. It could be secondary sources, like I've said before, like a periodical, a magazine, a journal. They could have given you someone else's information, so you could have given a secondary contact person. These are some of the things that we've discussed in class that you should have included and you should have been getting information from. Your purpose and goal in talking with the interview person, your Ask the Expert, was to have you get information that you weren't able to get in other places, like the Chronicle Brief or like the Bureau of Labor Statistics website. It was important that you had them help you fill in the gaps where you saw that you needed more information. And so hopefully they were able to do that for you, and we look forward to seeing your interview resources and your annotated bibs for this. Any questions, please feel free to ask, and don't forget, I always have office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that was what you missed on Wednesday, January 9th, 2013, because when you miss class, you miss a lot. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.